Welcome to another exciting session on entrepreneurship. Is there a difference between the Western world entrepreneurship and African entrepreneurship? Definitely yes, because our circumstances, our environment, and our upbringing demand different solutions to our problems. Money is one of those things that very few people want to talk about, but affects every areas of our lives. I come from quite a small village, and the only time that I saw differences between my father and mother was when it came to paying bills. Money affects everything. So today I want us to talk about the 5 rules of money that we all have to understand so that we can control and understand this thing called money. What is the best thing that you can do for the poor? Most people will always say, help them. Most people will always say, start charities. But I've come to understand that the best way to help the poor is not to be like them. A lot of people in Africa are poor, and we are poor because we don't have role models. You have to become totally different. You have to become rich so that others can believe and change their belief system that you can be like them. So let's start with rule number 1. Money is a game. Money is a game. And like any game, it has rules. So the easiest thing for you to do is you have to understand the rules of money. What is rule number 1? Money is a byproduct of value. You have to give something first before you can get money. We live in a very organized society where you cannot be good at everything that you do. So for you to be able to get services of somebody that knows or does better than you do, the only way for you to reward them is by having money. The second thing you have to do here is, after you've gotten the money, you need to know how to grow your money. And that's where investment comes in. So you could be earning money as a salary, whatever is coming in, whichever way that you earn it. But let's say you earn that money as a salary. And when that money comes in, you use that money to pay your bills. You pay your rent, you pay your mortgage, you pay for your car, you pay for your kids' school fees, you buy food, you pay for your medical bills. Now, that is spending. Now, you need to start investing. How much money do you have left after all the money that has come in? Now, that's where the budgeting comes in. The unfortunate thing is, most of us do not understand budgeting at all. Out of the money that is left, how much of that money are you investing? What does investment mean? Investment simply means is, you want that money to start working for you. What happens if this salary, or what happens if this business, or what happens whatever it is that is giving you that money stops giving you money? And that's where the investment comes in. And then the other thing, another rule of money that you have to understand here is, you have to learn to spend less than what you're earning. That does not necessarily mean that I want you. Some people will always say, either you live below your means, you live on your means, or you live above your means. Majority of us live above our means, which means that we're spending more than what's coming in. When you're living on your means, it means you're making $1,000 and your expenditure is $1,000. If you're living below your means, you're making $1,000, but your expenditure is $500. It gives you a surplus of $500 for you to be able to do with it whatever needs to be done. The second thing that I need you to understand here is that savings is more important than investing. Savings is more important than investing. The rich people among us are not those that earn more, are those that spend less. That's one thing. That's a money rule that you have to understand. The rich people among us are not those that earn more, are those that spend less. Because that's where your saving equation is. One of the things that I need you to do is, if you look at the South African research results, it tells you that the average South African, the average middle class South African, cannot come up with 5,000 in case of emergency. He cannot come up with 5,000 rands. And this is somebody that is earning on average between 30 and 50,000 rands a month. So he earns that money and he spends more of that money than what he earns. So this is very, very important. Savings is more important than investing. Number 3, patience. Money takes time. Money is like pregnancy. It doesn't matter how much a woman loves a man. She can't get pregnant and give birth in 9 days. She can't get pregnant and give birth in 9 weeks. Whether she loves the man that much or that much, she has to take at least 9 months. If she gives the child prematurely, the child has to be kept in an incubator. And this is the same thing when it comes to money. Most of us, when we make investments, we always panic and pull the money out. Most investments will take easy 10, 20 years. So you have to put that money up and you have to understand something called the law of compounding. It takes a lot of time for that money to start growing. So we need patience. You can't change your life overnight. Stop this funny business or advice that we get on social media everywhere, where people tell you they became overnight success or overnight millionaire. The only people that get that are always lotto winners. And if you look at research and statistics, most of them go back worse than what they were in 3 to 5 years, because they made the money, but their mind didn't grow. Number 4, look where nobody's looking. Look where nobody's looking. Because of the pandemic, everybody is focused on the businesses that are doing very well. Technology, things like Zoom, people are very focused on that. But the best investors, you have to look at where you are now and ask yourself, what is it that people are going to need in the next 5 years after this pandemic, after all this crash comes down? People will always want to eat. Women will always want to have their hair beautiful. Women will always want to smell nice. People will always want to be healthy. People will always need motivation. Now, those are the things that you need to start investing in now, rather than focusing where everybody's investing. How much money do you think now you need to invest in things like Netflix, to invest in things like Zoom? Everybody that has money is putting their money in that. So for us that don't have that much money, we need to start looking in those areas that people have been blindsided with. Number 5, the 5th thing that I need you to do is I need you to have a financial plan or financial goal. Call any of your 3 or 5 friends and ask them, how much money do you want to retire on? How much money do you need to retire comfortably? Most people just look at you with a blank stare, because people don't think that far. If you don't know how much money you need to retire, chances are you don't even know how much money you need to make today. You have to have a financial goal. And to have a financial goal doesn't mean you have to be rich. All you need to do is look where you are now, because with that, it becomes a route, it becomes a roadmap on how you start spending the little money that you have now. Now remember, if you're not faithful in the little things, you cannot be faithful in big things. How you manage and how you budget the $100 today, the 100 rands today, will determine how you manage the $1,000, the 1,000 rands tomorrow. Most people always say, when I get more money, I'll start saving. No, it's not going to happen. If you can't save out of the 10 rands, it's the habit, it's the principle. You have to get used to it. From a biblical point of view, that's why they say 10% belongs to God. God doesn't need money. God owns all these things. He doesn't need money. But the reason why they say 10%, it teaches you. It teaches you how to put that aside. This is the principle. It's a belief system that you have to do. And of course, I'll give you a bonus one here. I'll say embrace debt. Most poor people are afraid of debt. All you need to do is you have to learn and study debt. You have good debt and bad debt. Most poor people end up with bad debt. Bad debt is when you go take debt to buy shoes, take debt to buy a cell phone, take debt to go on holiday. Those are bad debt. They are taking from you, but they are good debt. Good debt is to take debt, to take money or take a loan to go to school. Take a loan to start a business. Take a loan to educate yourself. Those are good debts. Rich people take debt. So don't shun debt away. This becomes the 5 things. If you get these 5 things, it changes who you become. And when you change who you become, the things in your life change. I hope this helps. And as usual, I always say it helps with a Google search. If you enjoy this kind of talk and this kind of workshop, don't forget to comment, don't forget to like, don't forget to share, and of course subscribe to the channel because it helps with our Google search. I hope to see you soon. Au revoir, arigato, kwaheri, tuonane.